A-D-N.
It's HeadphonesNeil!
What's up, guys, and welcome back to HeadphonesNeil Reviews. I'm your host, as always, HeadphonesNeil, bringing you my review of everything I've been watching and doing for this week. So I'm going to jump right into it. I don't have too much to review, so I'll just knock them out one by one and let the podcast length be what it may. So to start it off, I finished the Hobbit trilogy with the Battle of the Five Armies, all extended editions. Couldn't tell you which parts are the additional parts versus the theatrical release or not, but overall I enjoyed the watch through more this time than the first time. Not that I disliked it the first time, but I think initially it was too much of, well, it's not Lord of the Rings, so it's okay. I thought the Hobbit books were more of child books, but in the context of watching them as the setup for the Lord of the Rings trilogy, it actually works as a really good trilogy of films. You get to see or you learn about the original alliance there was to defeat Sauron, the breakdown of the alliances, the hatred that's been developing over the years, so why the elves and the dwarves hate each other. Men and elves still have a tenuous relationship. The hobbits are the hobbits, basically, so all in all, a good trilogy of films. The best part, or not the best, but my favorite part of the films was when Thorin admitted to Bilbo that he is a true and good friend because he did what nobody else could in making him understand the power of the Arkenstone. So for me, all good films. I like this. I know that there was a part in the film with Legolas and his magical abilities and all that, and how much he can do in the Lord of the Rings films, but with everything that they showed in these films, it didn't bother me quite as much. It actually fit a lot more than I remember it fitting. So it's one of those things where just basically in this watch through, I think outside of the initial releases of the films, they generally just work. So with all that being said, now it's back to the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I'm resuming the Fellowship of the Ring at the point where Bilbo is closing his book that he's writing, trying to think of the title, and Gandalf arrives. So now it'll be the rest of the films, and doing that review as I watch the films and when I'm done with the trilogy. So with that being said, I've continued to watch Young Sheldon. I've gotten through seasons 2 through 4. I've been powering through it just because I've been enjoying it a lot more than I thought it would. I thought it would get annoying after like the first season or two, but much like The Big Bang Theory, they're short episodes because they're all like 20 to 23 minutes long, no commercials, and it's just easy to get through them one after another. And they're different enough, going into knowing what you're expecting as far as being a prequel to Big Bang Theory. It's good to see all the relationships that Sheldon has with everyone, his own character, his personal growth, his conflicts with his twin sister, the issues everyone has with their older brother, the relationship with the parents, their grandmother, all of that. So the show's basically just working for me to the point where I'm actually enjoying it more than The Big Bang Theory, but also to the flip side that I kind of now want to rewatch The Big Bang Theory to see how it holds up in the context of what if Young Sheldon had come out first and then we got The Big Bang Theory to get that young Sheldon and older Sheldon, and comparing his youth to his basically his educational years to his professional years. So regardless, I'm working my way through the rest of the season, so not much to say otherwise. If you watched a few episodes, you kind of know what to expect. You get more or less the same thing, but you get to build out all the character developments for how George Sr. is, how George Jr. is, the growth of Missy, Mom, Sheldon's mom, and Sheldon himself. So all of it generally just works. So if you've enjoyed The Big Bang Theory, then I think you'll enjoy Young Sheldon, and vice versa. So I'm on board with both shows, and I recommend watching both of them. So otherwise for this week, I did also have a chance to go visit Knott's Berry Farm for a couple of hours. It is that in between time where it's not really it's post Knott's Scary Farm but pre Knott's Merry Farm. So you see some of the Christmas decorations starting to go up. You don't really have too much else going on, so this not that any rides are in maintenance, but it's not really too much going on just yet until Merry Farm starts. But if you want to get an early look at some of the decorations, you get some of the end of Scary Farm stuff as far as the food offerings, and then a couple of random things here or there if you know where to go. But I figured I'd just see what's there, take a couple of photos of what's up already. So the link in the show notes will be the photo slideshow of that. And that's really about it. I mean, I'm planning another visit during Merry Farm just to see what stuff they put up and try some of the different food stuff for the that they have for the season. But that's really all there is for that. Not much to say there, just a quick treat for that. And so to round it out, for the gameplay that I'm currently going through, I've started my playthrough of the master levels for Doom 2. So I have seen this pop up in my search for Doom mods over the past couple of years since I started playing them. And I was originally hesitant to play them at all just because I legitimately thought that it was for, master professional players of Doom, people who can speed run through them, know all the tips and tricks and ways to play the game on nightmare mode and all that. But I thought I would get over that and say, okay, well, let me give it a shot, see how far into it I can get, what's it all about. And in doing some pre-research, I saw that, well, originally it was released all the levels were released as individual WAD files, so there's not really a cohesive story to it. It's more just of these are supposed to be maps that are supposed to test the limits of what you think you can do in Doom, your abilities, and all of that. And so I think the main issue that people have with it is that if you play them in random order, you might get an easy level and then a hard level and medium, and there's no particular setup to it. So in my case, I'm playing the Steam release of it, so they have it set in a particular order where so far with the initial 4 levels, it seems like they're going easy to hard, kind of like they have in the Doom games proper. So far it hasn't been too terrible. There's a couple of times I've had a couple of issues, but not to the point where it takes me forever to play the levels. But I do see like there are some famous levels like Black Tower that are notoriously supposedly difficult, and a couple of other ones later in the stream of levels, but it seems like they've set them up for, currently for at least the Steam version, that there's a progression to them, that they want you to go easy to hard so that you know what you're getting into, and that it's not necessarily going to be this easy the whole way around, but it's also supposed to be a little bit more puzzle-like and level progression, and kind of like an RPG where you have to explore, go around, go back and forth a little bit. You might have to go one way for one key and then go to another place to use it for the second key, and so on and so forth. So thinking of it that way makes it seem like it's going to be manageable. What we'll see. So regardless, I thought I would give it a shot and see if I can make my way through it. So in the context of my personal gameplay, I'm going to play the levels one by one, so that also gives me room to play them and do a little bit of exploring and get through them without having to worry like, okay, well, I've played 4 levels today and I played the first 2 the best because I was most rested, but the 3rd and 4th were the worst because now I'm tired and I'm not really paying attention. So basically I'm just, like I said, I'm doing them one by one, just give each level enough time, get through them patiently, and see how they are, see if they're good, bad, or indifferent or anything like that. So look out for those level by level releases up on the YouTube channel, and then I am going to be putting up a long play of it, so the whole master levels for Doom 2 as one super long video. So look out for that once the gameplay is done. So with that being said, that's all there is for this particular episode. So you can find all the gameplay videos, audio versions of the podcast, and all of that stuff up on the YouTube channel at youtube.com/PatelN01. I am going to have the slideshow photo thingy for my visit to Knott's Berry Farm in the video version of the or the YouTube version of the podcast, so you can watch along with that directly in the video if you so choose. And then it's also its own standalone video if you want just that, and if you want to share it and look at it on its own, so without my voice over it and all that stuff. For all social media links, if you want to comment on the post, past episodes, supporting the show, all of that stuff, you can visit the website at headphonesneil.reviews. But that is all for this particular episode. Thanks for tuning in,